Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the Angry Hacks podcast. It's Monday Madness. A little baseball coming at you. It's an exciting time. We've got a few days away to the start of the Major League Baseball season. And I know I am pumped up like you wouldn't believe. I am so ready. I've been ready for weeks. And it's here. It's coming. It's the week of baseball. And baseball's a long one. So, with me tonight are my two fellow hackers or hacks. Michael Hall, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. Fantasy baseball draft went really well, so I'm jacked, extra jacked for baseball.
Extra jacked. That's double jacked.
Double jacked.
If you're counting at home. Ryan Stanley, I know you're jacked up, brother.
Oh, I love baseball season. I love the smell in the air, the smell of the leather glove, the smell of the baseball, the smell of the grass. I'm pumped up for all of this.
I know you are. Love the sights and sounds and smells of Major League Baseball. It's an exciting time. So, basically, everyone, this is kind of like a part 3 of our preview. We've already previewed both leagues. We kind of discussed and broke down each team and every division. So we did the American League, then we did the National League. So now we're going to make our predictions today. This is our part 3 preview. We're making our predictions for our division, wild card, World Series, and all that jazz. And also we're going to do some awards. We're going to do some MVP, some Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, Manager, and if we want to throw any others on the fly. So, boys, let's go with the teams. I know we kind of discussed them in length, so we're not going to do that. Let's do our predictions. We'll start in the American League. I'll go ahead and start since obviously I can't shut up right now. So
just roll with it.
Just roll with it. All right. So this is what I got in the East. Okay, we'll go division by division.
Sure.
Boys. So we'll go in the East. We don't need to start back to front since we're not really previewing our team. All right. Last place in the East, I have the Rays. 4th place, the Orioles. 3rd place, the Blue Jays. And I'm edging the Yankees over the Red Sox for the East. Michael Hall, what do you got in the East?
Well, I have the Yanks winning it. Boston in 2nd. And then, pick the other 3 out of a hat. I think they're all going to suck, to be honest. Like, under 500. I guess Baltimore 3rd. I think they're the best of the bunch. And then Toronto, Tampa in the shitter.
Yeah, you're right. Those 3 teams are kind of like a toss-up.
Like the same team.
Right. Right. What do you got for that division, bud?
I got the same thing as Mikey. I got the Rays bringing up the rear with the Jays. The Rays and Jays. The Orioles, I think, are better than what Mike is saying, but I do see them finishing 3rd. But I could see them having a 500 record, maybe being one of those teams that competes for a wild card. And then I got the Red Sox and the Yankees winning the division.
Very interesting take on the Orioles. I was kind of struggling with the Blue Jays Orioles. I just still don't think the Orioles are that great, but hey, we'll see.
If they pitch, they'll be pretty good.
That's the thing. That's always what they're.
But they never do.
But they never do. So we'll see if this year is their year. All right, the Central, interesting division. I think there's a lot of crappy teams in this division. I just don't think anybody's going to take over that spot, and the Indians are going to roll with that pretty easily. I liked what the Twins did last year. I'm going to put them in 2nd. Then I'm going to go the White Sox. And the only reason I'm going the White Sox is I love young talent, and you're going to see a lot of it from them. And then I'll go Royals 4 after bringing back Moose. I'll give them that. And the Tigers are just a rebuilding team. I know they got Miggy still, but they're just a rebuilding team at this point. Mike.
We at the bottom we're the same. Tigers at the bottom. Royals slightly ahead of them. I do like the White Sox a little bit. Not and definitely finishing 3rd. They're not going to really compete for a playoff spot or anything. but I think the Twins win the division this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think, you know what? Maybe it's just crazy. Maybe I'm just, already sick of Cleveland. It hasn't even been that long since they've been good again. But I don't know. I don't know if it's mojo or something. Big injury on Cleveland or something. I see something weird happening. I like the Twins to win the division.
I love it. That's kind of fun. That's different. All right, Rye, what do you
It's a lot
got?
of fun.
See, I love what Mike just said. I'll start at the bottom and I'll get to why I love what Mike just said. But I got the White Sox on the bottom. I think the White Sox will finish last in this division because of that young. And I think they got a lot of good prospects and I got a lot of good talent last year at the deadline and stuff. But I still think they're too young. And I think they might make some more moves where they trade some guys. So I think they're going to end at the bottom, meaning Abreu is what I mean. And then after that, I see the Tigers and then the Royals in the middle of the division. Can the Royals be a 500 team? Maybe. You know what? They've been a pretty good team for a little while. They've lost some guys, but I could see them being okay, competing a little bit. So we'll see. And then I was going to toss up the Indians and the Twins because, like Mike, I'm sick of the Indians. I am. I'm a little sick of them, and I want something different. I was going to go the Twins. Mike stole my thunder, but that's fine. And my reason for it is a lot of their guys can get better. They have a lot of young players that can get better. And, there's pitching that can get better. They got, Buxton that I think will be better. Berrios will be better. A couple of those other infielders, Sano, I think might get better. Kepler could be better. So I just think that they could take a leap. I don't think the Indians are getting better unless Lindor goes to
a new stratosphere.
And another stratosphere, which is possible because I think he's fantastic. But that's what I'm saying for that division.
So you're going Twins at the top as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Very, very, very interesting. Just to kind of piggyback what you said with the White Sox finishing last, and me and Mike put the Tigers. I think the Tigers are kind of going to do the same thing. I think Miguel Cabrera is going to be gone. So
that's true.
I don't know. I guess that's kind of a toss-up. I just sometimes young prospects and highly touted prospects excite me, and maybe they get the team. They get that team and fan base energized. That's why I put them in third. Maybe they go on a nice little streak. But I kind of agree with you. I think Abreu is going to be gone as well. And if he sticks around, that just solidifies my take on them getting third. But I think he might be gone. But we'll see. That's very interesting, those last couple of teams in that division. The West. The Wild West.
Ooh.
Wild West. Mike, I'll let you go first on this one.
Sure. Wild West it is. At the bottom, I have Oakland. Just a pretty bad team. Interesting to see how Manaea pitches this year. Manaea, whatever. Because he struggled towards the end last year. He's had some injuries, but he's a young, talented kid. Oakland has some interesting prospects they could get to this year. I'll touch on that later, but they're still going to be pretty bad. I got Texas right ahead of them. Fourth, Seattle. We talked about them at length. They have the team on paper, but again, I just don't think whatever they're missing, they continue to miss. They miss the playoffs. They come in third. The Angels finishing second. I like the Angels for a bounce back year this year. I don't know how much Ohtani's going to have to do with that, but obviously I think Mike Trout has everything to do with that. Astros still too good. They'll win the division, but Angels, I guess, for the bounce back out west, but all Houston all day.
Yep. All right, Rye, what do you got?
All right, I don't think anyone's touching the Astros as a division. So let's just put them at the top and then pretend like they're not in it because they're the top of that division. I don't think anyone's coming close. But the other teams behind them, I think, can compete for a wild card. And I think they'll be in the mix for that second wild card. And I don't know where they're finishing, but I think the Angels, I think the Mariners might compete. And my reason for picking the Mariners third here is this is the year that no one's saying, hey, the Mariners are going to be good this year. So I think they could be like the Minnesota Twins of last year and maybe make a push and run for that second wild card. And then I got the Rangers after that, who I still think could be okay. I know losing Darvish, though, kills them. So that's why I have them fourth. But they could flirt with 500, and then I got the A's bringing up the rear.
Bringing it up the rear. Yeah, A's. I mean, we talked about this last time, guys. Like, I don't know many guys on this team, you know, and I think that's a problem for guys that know baseball pretty well. I don't know many on the team, so just for that, I can't see them doing well. In fourth, I have the Rangers. I mean, not much to talk about there. I don't think they're very good. They will hit, but I just don't think they're very good. Again, like you said, Mike, it's going to be that Mariners team that just, you know, you think they're gonna break out, and then they just kind of let you down. They do have a lot of good talent, so they have the, you know, they could do well. They could surprise some people, but they've always had that stigma of, you know, being touted and then just falling flat on their faces. Team I really like this year, and we'll get further into that, is the Angels. I think they did really well in the offseason, and I think having the best player, I believe the best player all around in the entire league, I think is going to propel them, you know, a little foreshadowing to the playoffs. But they're going to get second in the division because, like we said, guys, the Astros are just really good. There's really not much to say about this team. That they're just really good, and we did discuss them on our American League podcast. All right, the divisions are set. Let's get our playoff teams, and then we'll go to we'll let it hang and go to the National League. So my division winners I'm gonna say there are 3 division winners, and then the 2 wild cards who are gonna compete. So we'll go division winners for each of us first. So my division winners are, in order, I think the Astros are going to be the best team in that league. They're going to finish 1. I think the Yankees, not too far behind them either. They just are loaded with talent. So I think they get the 2 spot, and then the 3 spot, since I said they're going to win that division, the Indians are going to be 3. Go ahead, Mike.
Very similar. Astros 1, Yankees 2, and I also believe not too far behind. And my Twinkies, since they're winning the Central, since they're shocking the world, they're going to be our 3 seed for me.
That's a fun pick. Go ahead, Rye.
I got the Yanks at the top. I think the Yanks are the best team in 1, 2.
Look at you.
I got the Astros behind them. I think they're probably 1A, 1B, whatever you want to say. They're really the best team in baseball as well. I think they're the best 2 teams, so either way it happens, I'm just going Yankees ahead of the Astros here. And then I have the Twinkies after that, although I think a wild card team will have a better record.
Ooh, I kind of like that too. All right, my 2 wild cards, 1 and 2 respectively. I'm going to go Red Sox 1, Angels 2. And with that game, I think the Angels will win that 1-game playoff. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I don't have anything to add because I think the exact same thing.
With the Angels winning?
That's my exact pick, brother.
Cool. All right.
Mike Trout show in Boston.
I like it.
I want that to be the case. I want the Angels to be there because I love Trout. I don't see it. I think the Indians will get a wild card, unfortunately, and I think the Sox and Angels will battle out for the other one. And I'm thinking the Sox. And I think the Sox will have a better record than the Central teams.
Okay. All right. So my divisional round will we'll go Astros against Angels, a little division matchup. I like the excitement that the Angels can bring this year. Obviously, I love Mike Trout. I think he's awesome. Wish he was on my team. But the Astros are just top to bottom, I feel are just the most talented team. So I got the Astros, and I will say I didn't even really write this down. I'll say Astros in 5. And then the other divisional, I got Yanks and Indians, a little repeat of last year. And I got the Yanks winning that one. And I will say in 5. Mike?
5. Here's the, you know what? Since I have the Angels winning the wild card game, they will go to Houston, and the Mike Trout show continues. Mike Trout finally on the big stage. I mean, he's been in one playoff series in his career, right? Like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm looking at it right now. He was 1 for 12 in that series against the Royals. The one hit was a home run, by the way. This is my crazy pick. The Angels upset Houston in the first round, or the divisional rather. In 5.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? I'm picking Cleveland to miss the playoffs. I'm picking Houston to kind of have that another magical regular season, but get picked off in the divisional by Mike Scioscia, Mike Nelson Trout, and the Angels. Give me the Angels in 5.
What about the other one?
The other one, Yanks in 2. Yanks sweep the Twins because they own them. They have for a while.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I like the Yanks there.
Right?
Well, in that wild card game, I had the Red Sox beating the Indians because of Chris Sale, basically. And I think that this is Chris Sale's year. I think he's pissed off that he tailed off down the stretch last year. And like, you're running the Mike Trout show, which I would love to do. I'll go Chris Sale. So they would face the Yanks in the first round, right? Or would they not because of the division?
No, it doesn't matter with the new wild card.
It doesn't matter.
Wild card faces your top seed.
So then we get the Yanks and the Red Sox in there, and I would put the Yankees in 6. I just think they're better. Or 5. I'm sorry, it's 5, right?
It would only be 5.
So
5's the limit.
I'm sorry, Yankees in 4, and then I go with the Astros over the who am I saying? The Twinkies.
Twinkies.
I think the Astros. I think they're over the Twinkies, and then I think the Yanks over the Astros in 6.
Ooh, baby. Rematch.
You went a little ahead of us. All right, that's fine.
Sorry.
You went Yanks over Astros.
He just can't wait to put the Yankees in the World Series.
I know.
I think they're really good. It sucks.
Crazy kid. All right, Mike, I guess do your AL championship then.
Well, mine's going to be Yanks, Angels, and the Mike Trout show does continue. You imagine Mike, the Jersey boy, in the Bronx for the ALCS. But the Angels will not beat the Yankees in the ALCS. Yankees too good. They shut down Trout. Well, they keep him in check. Not going to shut him down. But give me the Yanks in 6.
So you both have the Yankees in the World Series.
Yes. Okay. That's not a jinx or anything. Why don't you put them in there too?
Well, I did go 1-2 here. Astros, Yankees. Another repeat of last year. And I think it's going to kind of go similar to what happened last year in terms of it just being a long, fun, grueling AL championship. It was really fun to watch.
What a series it was.
And I'm actually I'm going to repeat last year and say the Astros are going to make it to the World Series again because I just think they're really, really good. But to be honest with you, the Yankees this year are much closer than they were last year. They had that nice magical run in the playoffs, but I think they'll measure up a little bit better this year. So I think the Stros make it to the World Series again, back to back. So we have Stros, Yankees, and here we go, boys, the National League. Rye, we'll let you take the lead here on the East. How's it pan out, my man?
You want to do East or West?
No, I'll just go East. East's first.
All right. This is tough for me. I think the Nationals are the better team. So I got the Nationals winning the division. I do think that the Mets will contend for a wild card or be a wild card without giving much away. So I have the Mets finishing second. I got the Phillies third, the Braves fourth, and the Marlins bringing up the rear.
Rearing it. Go ahead, Mike.
The rear. I'll start at the bottom. Marlins, worst team on the planet. Braves, still pretty bad, but brighter future. Phillies, ascending. Now we get to the division winner. I think the team that wins this division, I think not necessarily the better team, but with health. And I think for some reason we might finally see it. I don't know why. I'm feeling a little frisky tonight. I think down to the last day of the season, but the Metropolitans win the division. I hate the Nationals too, as much as you guys. Well, maybe not as much as you guys. It's crazy, but I don't know. I feel like there's change in the air here. I think the Indians missed the playoffs. I think, the Nationals don't win this division because I think the Mets can stay healthy. Syndergaard stays healthy. DeGrom stays healthy. Harvey gives you anything. The lineup, it's better. If you get Rosario growth, Cespedes health, I think if it all fits together and it all breaks right, which I know a lot has to go right, but it can happen. And I think I like it to happen. I think the Mets win the division, the Nats finish too. Go.
Mike, did I ever tell you I like you?
Yeah, you have.
I like that. I really do. Rye, I'm going the exact same order as you.
Okay.
Marlins suck. Braves still suck. Phillies don't suck as much. Like you said, Mike, they're ascending. They actually, Rye, we were talking about this. They scare me, I think, the most in that division, really. I do. They do. I don't know why. It's just, it's a Philly thing.
They're close.
Yeah. And I just think the Nationals are just a better team. They are. I can't hide it. They're a better team. And I know that wasn't your stipulation there, Mike. You didn't even say the better team won. I like your reasons though. But I just think with that 1-2 punch of Scherzer and Strasburg, it's gonna be hard pressed to take that. And I'm just not convinced yet that this team is not over the injury bug because it's already happening in spring training. I'm not convinced until I see it. So Nationals, Mets, Phillies, Braves, Marlins. Get Rye Central.
Central, same old. Chicago Cubs, number one. But I think the Brewers can come in second here this year, close with the Cardinals, fighting for that number 2 in the division. So I got Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals. I got the Reds because they have a pretty good lineup at fourth, and I got Pittsburgh at the cellar dweller.
Cellar dweller. All right, Mike.
Yeah, the Pirates were sellers. Now they're going to be in the cellar. I have the Reds fourth. I have the Brewers third. I like the team, but I just think they run out of gas at the end of the season, kind of like what we saw last year. The pitching I don't think holds up. I think they're kind of in the race for that second wild card, but they kind of just run out of gas. I think those old St. Louis Cardinals show a little more moxie this year. They'll be in the hunt a little longer. They'll finish in second, and the Cubbies will win another division in spite of their manager because they are a very, very good team with an American League style lineup, and I think they get off to a better start than they did this year. I think they're going into the All-Star break a little more comfy than they did last year, and they'll be on top again, I think.
Well, Rye, I had the same exact setup in the East as you. So, Mike, I'm going to tell you that I have the same exact setup in the Central
Still
as
you.
you.
Thunder.
Yeah, Pirates and Reds are not good. The Brewers, I don't even. To be honest with you, I don't think they come close. I don't think they even come close. Pickups of Kane and Yelich are kind of nice. I actually think Kane has an awful season. I think Yelich has the better season. I think he's the better player right now in their careers. Yep, it's the pitching. They're just it's not there, not good enough. So I think they're just not there yet, and they won't even come close. Cardinals 2, Cubs 1, but I think that one's going to be closer than you think. That Cardinals team is just that organization somehow, some way, even when they lose guys, they somehow do it. They somehow make it there or get close. And like I said on a previous podcast, Tommy Pham is their X factor. I like the way that guy plays really hard. He's a hard-nosed player. I think he propels them a little bit. But like you said, Mike, that Cubs team, it's all about their lineup. But I think the pickup of Darvish is gonna be really important to them with Lester and Hendricks and Mendricks and Wendricks, all those guys. So I got the Cubs, winning that division. So same setup as you, Mike. All right, we're on to the West, Rye.
All right. Well, my number one team. This might surprise some people, but it's the Diamondbacks. So I have the Diamondbacks winning the division at the top. I think the Dodgers are going to fall off a little bit this year, but still come in second in this division and contend for a wild card. And then third, I got the Rockies. Fourth, I have the Giants. This Bumgarner injury really sucks for them. And so I don't see them contending now. That's a huge piece to lose. So they're fourth, and the Padres are, those cellar dwellers as well.
Well, I had the same thing.
You got the D-backs 1, 2?
Love the Diamondbacks. We talked about them last show. I think the pitching staff really surprises a lot of people this year. I like the staff. I like all 5 starters. The lineup, if A.J. Pollock can stay healthy, and guess what? I drafted him again in fantasy this year. I couldn't help myself. I know the injuries scare people, but the upside on this, he's no kid anymore. He's in his prime, though. When A.J. Pollock is on the field, the Diamondbacks, go. We all know about Goldschmidt, Lamb, but A.J. Pollock goes, the Diamondbacks go. If he can play anywhere close to a full season, he takes the team to another level. I think he's that good. Superstar no one talks about. And the Dodgers, I think, still a very good team, and they'll have a good year. I just think the Diamondbacks just have a better one. And then the same thing in the Rockies. I still love the Rockies, but I just don't think they're as good as the other two. And then, like you said, Bumgarner. Even with Bumgarner, I think I have the Giants down 3rd and 4th anyway, and the Padres blow. So, D-backs, I love them.
Nice, boys. Mine's a little different.
Go.
Kind of kept it traditional. I struggled with those middle teams. Padres, they're not good. The Hosmer crazy contract, whatever. It's not going to do anything for them. I'm with you guys with the Giants in 4th, though. That Bumgarner injury does hurt, Rye, because I think they come out and lose a bunch of games, which kind of puts them back a little bit, and then they got to play a little catch up. They also lost Samardzija too. I think he's still kind of out. So their depth is kind of going to the wayside. Don't like them too much. Rockies in 3rd. They're like you said, Mike. They're almost there. They got there last year. I don't think they get there yet. That offense, like we said, is very potent. Obviously playing course. Good players though. Good players. They play well on the road as well. But it's the pitching because the other 2 teams have better staffs. It's there's nothing else to say. It's just they're better, and that's going to make a difference in this division. Now, my only difference with you guys, I think it stays the way it did. and it's going to be Dodgers Diamondbacks. And the only you're going to find out when we go over the playoffs. It's the Diamondbacks are going to get hot. That's all I'm going to say. They're going to get hot. I think they miss out on winning that division. Very, very close. I think the Dodgers are just still very, very good. But it's going to be close, boys. I think that's a very exciting division, too, to see where it's going to go. Being an outsider, both, all three of us not having a team in that division. I really do like the Diamondbacks, though. All right. So, division winners. Like I said, I'll go 1, 2, and 3. And I don't love my pick here, but I'm just going to do it. I think the number 1 seed. I don't like how that sounds. Number 1. I don't like how that sounded. The seed. Yeah, number 1 in that league there is going to be the Nationals. Reason being is Bryce Harper is going to have a very, very good season. Daniel Murphy is going to have a very good season. And I just think Scherzer, Strasburg. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think number 2 will be the Cubs, and number 3, the Dodgers. So I think it's Nationals, Cubs, Dodgers. Rye, what do you think?
Well, I have the Cubs number 1. I think they're going to beat up on Pittsburgh. They're going to beat up on the Reds. And like you said, the Brewers staff ain't so good, and I think they can win a lot of games against them and the Cards. But I think the Cubs are very good. I think that Darvish move is going to really pay off dividends for them. And then I got the D-backs number 2. I love this team. Nationals 3.
Okay. Mike?
All right. Mostly in agreement with Stan. Cubbies 1. They learned their lesson from last year. They didn't like kind of stumbling out of the gate. I think they're good enough to just fix that and play better early. They kind of roll this year. D-backs, probably just a couple games back, 2. And your freaking New York Metropolitans, 3.
Look at you. Look at you. You get me excited over there. I swear to God. My 2 wild cards, 1 and 2, respectively. My number 1 is the Cardinals. I like them. I do like them. I think they're going to get that 1. And then the Diamondbacks. I told you guys, a little foreshadowing telling you they're going to get hot at the right moment, slip into that wild card spot. And I'm saying that the Diamondbacks win that 1-game playoff. What do you think, Rye? Who's your wild cards? Who's winning it?
Well, I got the Mets and the Dodgers as the wild cards. And I think that if that happens to be the case, I think the Mets win that game, no matter where it is.
Syndergaard or DeGrom?
Committee. I hope.
Committee.
Syndergaard.
I hope, because it would mean they stay healthy all year, that it's Syndergaard.
It's cute.
You know what I'm saying? Like, either way, I'll take it. But I say Syndergaard versus Kershaw, and I say we just so happen to Syndergaard just happens to last longer in the game than him, and we beat up that bullpen of theirs.
Okay, Mike, what you got? Wild cards.
My wild card, it's gonna be the Nationals, because I'm telling you that East race gonna go down to the last day. Mets win it by a game. And the Dodgers. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think the Nationals and the Dodgers, they still might be the 2 best teams in the National League, but I just think the way things kind of fall this year, they don't have the years they envision, still good enough to get to that game. In that game, I mean, I go back and forth here. Give me the Dodgers just because the Nationals are such choke artists. I mean, that's the only reason why. I don't know how the end of that last day of the season is going to play out. If Kershaw has to pitch on that last day, or if Scherzer has to pitch on that last day.
Anything.
Tight races where aces have to pitch on the last Sunday. But just the Nationals always fucking choke. They always do it. So give me the Dodgers in that wild card game.
I like where you went there, that the Nationals choke. If we move to the divisional round, my 1 team was Nationals, and my wild card hot team was that Diamondbacks. And here it is, boys. Nationals choke artists, Mike.
They do. What it?
piggybacking off it. Diamondbacks, I think, like I said, they get hot at the end of the season, slip into that wild card spot, and just kind of ride it out. They stay hot and they beat the Nationals. I'm going to clean sweep of the Nationals.
I could see that happening.
The 2-3 match, and it's crazy I say that, guys, because I just was like talking about Scherzer and Strasburg. I think they just kind of run out of gas here.
The playoffs, and it's the Nationals. That's what happens.
Right. They run out of gas, and plus they choke. So clean sweep. Cubs and Dodgers 2-3 respectively. I think this series goes 5, and I'm gonna pick the Dodgers. I'm gonna pick the Dodgers, and I'm only gonna pick them because of Clayton Kershaw. He stays healthy. He's still the best, one of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball. Just a really, really tough pitcher to hit against from the left side with that herky-jerky, crazy wind-ups, just unbelievable stuff, too. All right, so go ahead, Rye. Now, division, I don't want to get too far ahead like you did.
All right, I got the Cubbies would then face the Mets, and I think this is going to be a close one. I think it goes 5. I think it's really a flip of a coin, because I don't trust these Cubs pitchers other than maybe Hendricks in the playoffs, right? So I go the Mets here, okay? This is all bearing we stay healthy, obviously, because if not, we're not making the playoffs. But anyway, the other game, D-backs, Nats, choke artist, D-backs win.
Yeah. It's like a annual tradition. Nationals can't win a playoff series. Okay. So my wild card winner Dodgers would go play the Cubbies, and I just think, it's just the Cubs. I think, I don't know if I can break down too much analysis here. I just think they're better, and they continue to win big baseball games in spite of their jackass manager. And then we have an interesting one. We have the Diamondbacks and the Metropolitans. Mets starting pitching staff against that potent Arizona lineup. But kind of my theme that Arizona pitching is just going to really turn a lot of heads and show a lot of people how good that staff really is. And I think they will take that step to go toe-to-toe with a staff as good as the Mets. So give me the Diamondbacks in 4 and Cubs in 4. Beautiful.
So we all three of us have the Diamondbacks in the NL Championship. That's very, very interesting.
Look at that.
Yep.
So my matchup is an NL West matchup. It's actually the 3-4 team. I said Dodgers and Diamondbacks, and that hot streak continues, boys. And the Diamondbacks go to the World Series. It's going to continue. I think the game goes 6 or 7. I'll stick it with 7 because I like to see more baseball. So we'll go 7. I think it's going to be an epic matchup. I think it's going to be fun. But I think the Diamondbacks, I think they.
You still there, Ryan?
Oh, no. He had me hanging.
All right, so anyway, I don't know what Ryan's picking, but I heard what he's saying, and he likes the D-backs going to the World Series, which is exactly where I'm at, Mike. I had the D-backs and the Mets, and I would love to keep going with the Mets. It could be a stretch where I have them already, but I don't think the Mets can keep it going against that Diamondbacks team. I think they're very deep. The Mets bullpen isn't good enough to keep this thing going. Obviously, trades in the season could change, but I go D-backs over the Mets, which would then have D-backs versus the Yankees in the World Series, and that would be revisiting an old one of yours.
Shades of 01. Yep. Shades of steroid Luis Gonzalez, steroid muscling a ball over Jeter's head in the drawn-in infield.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I can give you my outcome. And I think it's Yankees over the Diamondbacks in that World Series.
Well, it does make me feel better. It would make me feel extra better if Bob Brenly was still managing the fucking team. couldn't stand that guy either.
All right, I'm back, boys.
He's
I don't
back.
know what the hell happened.
I don't know. You had us hanging. I was ready to hear what you were about to say.
What did I leave you on?
I forget exactly where.
Diamondbacks are going to ride their wave. Diamondbacks in the World Series, and then I don't know.
No, that was it. That was kind of it.
it.
I was kind of leaving it to you guys to.
Okay. So anticlimactic. Well, Stan the Man picked the Diamondbacks to make the World Series as well.
Wow.
And can you believe it? All three of us are picking the Arizona Diamondbacks to go to the World Series.
They are not making the playoffs
now. The kiss of death. Sorry, guys.
I love it.
Sorry, Diamondbacks Nation.
Well, the best part about that is we didn't discuss this before, so.
Oh no.
Just we like them.
No, this is raw analysis here. This is as organic as it gets.
I love it.
Listen, now, I think honestly, Stan, you touched on it. I don't trust that Cubs staff 100%. Even Hendricks. I mean, it makes me a little nervous. I think Joe Madden finally screws them. I think Madden finally does it. He tried to a couple years ago, and they bailed him out against Cleveland. I think if this series goes 7, I think it will, because the Cubs' offense can carry them a bit. I think Madden just I like the Diamondbacks in the Game 7 because Madden's going to screw it up, and this Diamondbacks team will be hot as we talked about. So hell, give me the Arizona Diamondbacks going to the World Series in 7 over the Cubs.
All right. So both of you have Yankees versus Diamondbacks, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
And I have Astros Diamondbacks. Right. Did you make your pick? I thought I kind of heard you say it.
Yeah, I picked the Yankees over the D-backs. I think it goes 6.
Okay. Mike, what do you got?
Just ultimate revenge from 17 years ago.
17 years.
I mean, yeah, can't believe it's 17 years ago. Can you believe that?
Crazy.
It will be 17 years ago, and no one's there anymore. And I don't know if Nunzi, I think you were trying to get back with us, but Stan, he brought up 0-1, and I got upset, and he said, well, cheer you up. I'll give you my winner, and I think it's the Yankees. And I said, well, cheer me up better if, like, Bob Brenly was still the manager of the Diamondbacks. you gotta give me something. If Luis Gonzalez was still on the team. He did steroids. He could probably still play.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, I love that Arizona team, but I can't pick against the Yanks. If I think they're good enough to make it to the World Series, I think they're good enough to win it.
Okay.
And, and maybe it's not that, long, epic kind of World Series. The Yankees may kind of put a hammer down. This is the ultimate jinx. Give me the Yanks in 5. Champs.
Boom. All right. So you both have Yanks. My World Series was Astros Diamondbacks. I think this will be really fun to watch. A lot of fireworks, couple walk-offs. I think it's going to be an absolute fun World Series, but I think we're going to have back-to-back champs. I think the Astros are going to win again. They are just loaded top to bottom. I know I sound like a freaking broken record, but
they are.
They are, exactly. They are Astros in 6. Astros in 6. So there you go, guys. So all of our World Series winners, all 3, although it's 2 because you guys picked the same. All our picks are from the AL. You got 2 Yankees and an Astros, so I guess we'll see what happens with that. But that was fun. Let's move to our awards. We'll go through these. we'll do the MVP in each league, the Cy Young in each league. We'll try and pick the Rookie of the Year in each league, and then we'll do the Manager of the Year. Any other awards you guys want to touch on while we're here?
Does MLB do a comeback player?
Yes, they do.
I don't know if you guys.
Do they call it that though?
I don't even know. There's the Rolaids relief.
Yeah, there's so many little kind of
like that, right? Want to do the Silver Slugger at every single position? Let's do it.
All the Gold Gloves.
We'll be here for another 2 hours.
No, I'll tell you though, what I just did for the MVP and the Cy Young. I picked the winner and I picked the runner-up.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys want to think about that for a sec, we could start with Manager of the Year in the AL because we already talked about it on a previous pod.
Okay. All right. Go kick us off.
You know my pick for AL Manager of the Year. It's Aaron Boone. The Yankees are
Boone.
just very, very good. He's a rookie manager, and I think that he gets the award.
Boone.
What do you think, Rye? I mean, what do you think, Mike?
I forget what I picked when we talked about it before, but I'm changing it just because of the way I kind of worked this playoff thing out and the year I think they're going to have, and just because you guys love him so much. Mike Scioscia. Angels, bounce back, Trout, Scioscia, lock it up.
And it's funny, Mike. I was going to go the same route. It was kind of a toss-up between two guys. It was going to be Scioscia, who's been there, it seems like 50 years. I hate Scioscia for other reasons, obviously.
I hate him too.
You can't stand him. But I'm going to go with you, Rye. I think Aaron Boone's going to be Manager of the Year. It's just kind of the same reasons you said, basically. All right, what do we got in the NL, Rye?
NL Manager of the Year, I'm sticking New York only, Mickey Callaway.
Yes.
And I'm picking it for the same reasons. There's just no one in that league that's standing out to me. Like the D-backs, they won it, forget his name now, but he won it last year.
Corey Lavulo.
Right, Lavulo. I just don't see Joe Madden winning it. I think the baseball's love affairs with him is ending. Dave Roberts isn't winning. And I just think Mickey Callaway, rookie manager, coming off a bad year. The Mets are coming off a bad year. I think they stay healthy this year, and I think because of that, he wins the Manager of the Year.
Mike?
Love it. I'm with you. I mean, hell, I'm picking the Mets to have a hell of a run here. So why not pick the rookie manager? You're dead on, Stan. I mean, almost by process of elimination. I mean, obviously, I picked the Mets to win the division, so he'd be a worthy candidate in his first year. But no one else kind of really does it for me. I think he may actually, they don't release the votes for this kind of shit, but I think he kind of runs away with it, to be honest. Give me the Mick.
Well, if you noticed, Rye, I did not pick the Mets to make the playoffs. I don't know if you noticed.
Right. I did.
Okay. I just don't. I can't get over the fact that they just, last couple of years, just they couldn't stay healthy. So I'm not ready to say that it's going to happen. So I'm kind of that's hanging over my head, and I can't get over it yet. Now I just need to see this season happen. But I just don't think they're there yet. I just don't think we have enough. Harvey's really got to show me something this year, and a couple of guys they need to have huge seasons. But I just don't think they're going to do it. Although I think he will win rookie, the Manager of the Year as a rookie manager. I really do. I'm with you on that one. I think they come close getting there, and I get all upset because they get so close and don't make it. But I think I like him for some reason, and I don't know too much about him yet. Just his demeanor, what his plans are. It's going in the right direction. So I like him. I think he's got what it takes to manage in New York. It will be, we have to wait and see, but I do like him, and I think he will win it. I just, I almost thought of going to Vulo, but I don't think he wins it again because they're not really. I mean, we said they're going to, come out of there and do well again and make it, but I mean, their breakout was kind of last year. I don't think he wins it. So we're clean sweep on the NL, boys. Clean sweep.
Crazy.
What about this one's kind of tough? What about the Rookie of the Year, Rye?
Well, I'm going to quickly give you both from each league because it's tough, and I'm just going to give names from each league that I think can win it. They also might suck ass. Okay, Juan Moncada from the Chicago White Sox, and just for sheer numbers, and playing a full season as a rookie, I think he'll get it. And because the Mets are making the playoffs, we have Ahmed Rosario out there. And I think because of the position that he plays at shortstop, he's on the fast track and in everybody's eye, and he's going to win that Rookie of the Year. And part of the reason why the Mets are going to be good this year.
Cool. All right, Mike.
I like it. AL, I kind of touched on it before. The A's have a kid. I don't know if you guys follow much college baseball. An old University of Florida alum, AJ Puck, big tall lefty. Hasn't really lit the world on fire yet in the minors, but he's had a good spring, and Oakland's just, desperate for an injection of exciting youth. So I have a feeling he gets called up sooner than later, thrown in the rotation, and I think he's going to pitch really, really well. And I mean, who knows? It's the rookie of the year, but if you want to kind of under the radar dark horse, and no one's really talking about, AJ Puck on the A's.
Cool.
National League, not as exciting. It's the kid Acuna on the Braves. He just sounds like he's on another planet. We'll see. But on a shitty team, he's going to get every opportunity to succeed. Probably hit right in the middle of the order. Sounds like he's got more than 5 tools. I think counted about 8 or 9. So I'll take the probably the odds-on favorite in the National League, Acuna, of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, I'll start there, Mike, because I'm going to piggyback Acuna. He is spectacular.
That's good.
And I think you hit the nail on the head saying, he's playing on a crappy team. So, he's going to be there. They're going to need him there, with the talent this guy has. And I think, the guy hit, what he hit, like 350 or something, close to 350 in AAA, just absolutely mashed. He steals some bases too. He's a quick dude. He's just that good. It's tough to pick the rookie of the years because, some guys just come out of the woodwork sometimes. But I'm going to piggyback and say I'm going to pick the best guy out there with you, and that's Acuna. Now, for the AL, Mike, you're going to like this.
Ooh.
Okay? The Yankees like to have, like to get these guys that, come up from their system and just absolutely light the world on fire. They did it with a couple of guys that are on the team this year. Don't have to name them, Mike. I think you know who they are. And now, these guys can be MVP guys. But I think this guy, just because of the talent he has, I think he's going to just come out of nowhere, because I think this is a real dark horse guy to win. He's going to come out of nowhere and he's going to somehow fit into this lineup. I know it sounds crazy. He's going to fit into the lineup. I like just, kind of throwing a curveball at you guys. Gleyber Torres is going to be the rookie of the year in the AL.
You know what? Really quick, Stan, before you go. It's not as crazy as it was maybe, even 24 hours ago, because with Greg Bird now on the shelf
Yep.
for could be upwards of 2 months, Neil Walker's going to be playing a lot of first base. So second base all of a sudden is a more gettable position for anybody. Now they sent Torres down. He had a rocky spring. We understand that. He had to kick a lot of rust off that he's taking a little longer to do. Understandable. But I'm with you. That call-up could happen a lot sooner. If the Yankees get off to a slow start offensively and Torres kind of starts to turn it on, you can see that call-up in May rather than later in the summer. Yeah, for sure.
And I kind of like guys that, have, the cards stacked against them. He's in an organization, on a team, or possibly on a team that is just stacked. They're loaded, and it's going to be hard pressed to find a spot. But now, like you said, with Greg Bird's injury, he might get an earlier call up, and I think that's what happens. And I think he just comes out and freaking just lights it on fire a little bit, because he doesn't have to be the guy. Obviously, he doesn't have to be the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth guy. You know what I'm saying?
He'll hit eighth if he comes up.
Exactly. So he'll kind of go under the radar. That's why I kind of like that pick, just picking him there.
I like it.
Why the hell not, right?
Sure.
All right, Rye. How about some Cy Young action?
All right, this is same old, but I have National League. I have Clayton Kershaw. I know we didn't win it last year, but I think he's just so good, and I think he stays healthy this year. It's the only reason why he didn't win it last year. I think he is the best pitcher in baseball, and I think he wins it over former teammate Yu Darvish.
Yu Darvish?
Me? You.
AL?
I have
Chris Sale?
Yep, I have Chris Sale.
He's good.
And I have
good.
And I have Chris Sale. I mentioned it earlier because Kluber, I think Sale had it in the bag last year, and then he started sucking a little bit.
Yeah,
not even sucking, just not pitching lights out. And then Kluber took him over, and I think Chris Sale is he's very good, and I think he wins it this year. And I think it's over Louis Severino.
Ooh, yes, heavy.
I think Severino's going to get a ton of wins with the Yankees this year, and I think because of that, he gets a ton of votes, and I think his other numbers will be fine, but I think he might approach 20 games, so I think he'll get a lot of votes that way, and his ERA will be fine, his strikeouts will be fine, his innings pitched will be fine, so I think Sale over Severino.
I like it. Okay, so with the National League, again, same theme. Metropolitans bounce back. If they do it, it's going to be with Syndergaard. If he stays healthy the whole year, they can be a very good team. And if he's healthy the whole year, odds are he's going to be pretty damn dominant the whole year. So Thor wins the Cy Young. Scherzer in second because Scherzer, A, is never hurt. B, he's always very good. But not as good as Big Blondie this year. AL. Here's a crazy pick. Well, I'll start with the third. I'll go all the way down to third because I think Severino does have a really good year. He will finish third in the voting. Sale comes in second. And here is the dark horse of all dark horses. I've defended this guy for a long time. He just had a hard time staying healthy and staying on the mound. Very good pitcher. He's left-handed. He's still in his prime. This is his age 29 season. James Paxton from the Mariners.
Wow.
Last year, listen, he's still never pitched more than 136 innings in a year, but that was last year, and he's slowly built up and built up and built up. And maybe he only has one or two really, really good years where he all puts it together. But if it does happen, this guy is that good. He went 12-5 on a Mariner team that wasn't very good last year. A sub-3 ERA in the American League. When he's on the mound, this guy is very, very good. So it's a big if, but if he can get anywhere close to 30 starts, this guy, A, could flirt with 20 wins. This guy could flirt with, like a 2.65, 2.70 ERA, a ton of strikeouts. I think he's really, really good. So I know it's a dark horse, but I like James Paxton in Seattle.
You know what, though? It wouldn't be fun if we can't go a little bold here.
Of course.
So I like the pick. I really do. And I'm not going to lie. I did not know he was that old. I thought he was a little younger than that.
Yeah, he's been around.
He has been around. All right, National League. Rye, you're going to hate this. You're going to hate it.
Yep.
I'm going Strasburg.
Oh,
Berg.
that's
not even Scherzer. I'm going Strasburg.
That's not good for us.
Steven Strasburg can be a number one on many teams. Many teams. But he's got to contend with Max Scherzer, who's just excellent. I think both of them just have unbelievable seasons. I had them winning the division, finishing first. So I'm gonna go Strasburg. He's a little under the radar because of Scherzer. I think he wins 22 games this year because he actually finally stays healthy a full season. He's gonna win 22. Yep, he's gonna win 22. And he's going to win it over Kershaw because Kershaw, like I said before, he's just very good. But I think And I think Kershaw can get close to 20 games. I just think Strasburg has just finally like a little bit of a breakout. He had a ridiculous stretch last year. Where I mean, I'd have to come out with the numbers, but he had some stretch where he couldn't lose, and he was letting up like 2 or fewer runs. I think it was like 7 or 8 starts, something like that, something crazy. I gotta look that up. But I think he's just really good. He's just under the radar because of Scherzer. So I'm going Strasburg over Kershaw in the National League. American League, this was tough. I wanted to be bold on this too, Mike, like your Paxton pick. And Rye, you mentioned him, and I'm going to go with him. I'm going another Yankee. I think it's going to be Severino.
Luis.
And the reason I think it's going to be Severino is because he is going to lead the league in strikeouts.
Like it.
Yeah.
Over Sale,
over Kluber, over all these guys.
Oh, baby.
He's a flamethrower too. He strikes out a lot of guys, Why not? And he's going to be on one of the best teams. He's clearly the best pitcher on that team. He's really young. He's got a lot of talent, a ton of talent. Mike, you know it first and foremost. So why not get a little bold? I got Severino over Sale in a close one.
Love it.
I don't even have Kluber in the top 5, guys. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Kluber.
But, Kluber's very good.
Before we go to MVP, Rye, though, I just got to say something about the Cy Youngs this year. I think there could be like 5 guys in each league up there.
Easily.
The pitching has gotten so much better the last few years.
It is. And you know what? It might even be guys that we haven't even said, Right. So, but I wanted to be a little bit bold, but I really don't think it's too bold, because I think if it does happen, I think we're not going to sit here and say, wow, Rye, your pick. I think you're going to be like, yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah. I don't think he wins as much as the National League guys, I said, but I don't think it matters. I think he keeps a low ERA. And like I said, Mike, it's going to be those strikeouts this year. He's going to lead them. All right, Rye, let's do the big one. MVPs, go.
All right, I'll start in the American League, and it's like Michael said, it's the Mike Trout show. This guy is the best player in baseball. I really don't think it's that close. I think he's the best player, and he will be back to being healthy and being the best player this year. Hit above 330, hit more than 30 homers, more than 100 ribbies, more than 30 stolen bases, play a good outfield, and get big, timely hits, which these voters love. I think he wins this over Manny Machado. And the reason why I have Machado near is he got off to such a horrid start last year.
Awful, yeah.
And I don't see that happening again. And I see him being very good all year. And part of the reason why the Orioles, I think, can contend for a potential wild card spot is because that he is the spoon that stirs the drink or whatever. And I think he's going to be awesome this year.
Awesome.
All right, National League.
National League MVP, I go with my favorite player in the league, in the National League, other than a Met. It's Paul Goldschmidt. The guy's been overlooked last year. I think, many years. I think he's been overlooked. The guy's just very consistent. I see him hitting over 300, over 30 homers, the best hitter on the one of the best teams in the league. And I don't know if he'll I think that Rizzo and Chris Bryant and all those guys can contend, but I think that he takes it this year, and I think it's over a teammate, Mike. I think it's over AJ Pollock.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, they lose JD Martinez. They need Pollock this year. And part of the reason they're going to be so good is that staff, but also because Goldschmidt and Pollock are going to have great years. And every time Pollock gets on base, Goldschmidt is going to drive him in. So it's just going to be a great 1-2 punch there. I know that doesn't happen often. It's one of my bold little things going on here.
Fun.
I like that. I like it. Okay. Well, we have different runner-ups, Ryan Stanley, but our champions of the Most Valuable Player awards are the same. If I'm picking the Angels to make the playoffs and make this kind of run, I mean, how do they do without Mike Trout? Best player, I don't know, in the galaxy, if there's another planet with baseball players. He's better than all of them, too. It does it all, and he'll do it all year. Beating out a Houston Astro, but not Jose Altuve. Carlos Correa comes in a very close second. Really quick on Correa, this kid's unbelievable. I mean, he had 24 homers and 84 RBIs last year. A pretty good year, right? In 109 games.
Yep.
He missed
he was hurt.
I mean, you prorate that for a whole season, that's 36 and 125, with a 315 average or whatever. His OPS last year was 941. That's ridiculous. Problem is Mike Trout's in the same league. So Trout, Correa, 1-2, I think pretty close. Christ, National League, Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't won one yet. So good. His defense is overlooked and underrated. I know because people think first base is easy. It's not. You guys know that. And he's one of the best over there. Just an absolute pure hitter. And again, I don't think Powell comes in second in the MVP race. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but with him in the lineup all year, I mean, it helps everybody, including Goldschmidt. Second place, Nolan Arenado, a kid who's, I mean, I think you guys would agree, good enough to win MVP awards every single year. Coors Field, no Coors Field, a Walmart parking lot. It doesn't matter. This kid can play. So consistent. And again, I don't know if he's totally underrated at third base, but an absolutely outstanding defensive third baseman. There's so many good players in this league. This is tough, but I'll take Goldschmidt in another close race over Nolan Arenado in the National League.
Whew. Well, all right. I'll go to the AL, and God, wanted to be a little different, but it's tough. I'm gonna have to clean sweep Mike Trout it. Guys, this is gonna be his 8th season or 9th season, something like that, which is crazy. The kid's only 26.
Yeah. It is his 8th year, I believe.
Yeah, it's his 8th year. He's only 26. He's just really good. And now with this team, adding a few pieces to, put them over the edge. And like I said, I think they make the playoffs as well. This team goes as Mike Trout goes, and I think he just has a superb season. I think this is his best season yet.
That's scary.
I think it's his best season. Yeah, it is scary. Who does he win it over? It was kind of tough to pick. I think the Yankee guys kind of cancel each other out a little bit. There's just, there's so many good players on that team. They're just going to cancel each other out a little. So Mike, I'll kind of go with you and Correa, because I mean you don't even realize with those numbers. He only played that many games. It's unbelievable. I forgot he was hurt for that long. He is just an up and coming, just absolute stud at shortstop. And really fun to watch. I mean, just being able to watch him last year in the playoffs, really fun to watch. So I'm going Trout over Correa as well. Now, National League. Funny, guys. I was thinking about Goldschmidt too, and that would have been not fun.
Fun.
Yeah, but there was another guy that I was thinking of that is probably not on anybody's radar, which I am totally for, and I love.
Can't wait.
I love it. I just love it. NL MVP is going to be Yoenis Cespedes. And it's funny that I say that because I didn't have the Mets win the playoffs, which doesn't automatically say, a team wins the playoffs, you have to have an MVP on that. It doesn't, you don't have to. They get close. I said they get close, but I think Cespedes, if he can stay healthy, right? I mean, we beat a dead horse with this, keep saying that, but it's so true. If he can stay healthy, he is still one of the better hitters in the league. I truly believe that. And I think he's going to have enough protection this year if they stay healthy, enough protection this year where he's going to get more pitches to hit. And I think he has just an unbelievable season, and I hope he does. But I just have – it's a gut feeling, guys. It's a gut feeling I have. And, nobody's picking him to come even close in that race. I don't think so with all these guys out there. But he's gonna win it, and I think he's going to win it over. I wasn't even thinking about it. Why don't I go with my boy that I said before? I think he's gonna win it over Tommy Pham. How about that?
Damn.
How about that?
Look at that.
Guy was fighting for a roster spot last year.
It's a good
We're
player.
going Cespedes over Pham. You guys like that?
I love that.
Love it.
Love it.
So there's our awards. There's our predictions. There's our awards. We'll see if anything pans out, like my football prediction of the Rams.
Ooh, had to bring that up.
I mean, come on. I had to get one right. But you keep saying, you had the record wrong, Which
I give you half credit.
Get half credit. We'll see if it happens. Baseball's just around the corner, boys. It's exciting. Anything to add before we get out of here, boys?
Oh, first pitch. I want it right now.
Wants it right now. Ryan, anything to add?
I'm ready. Markel Fultz, by the way, suited up for the 76ers tonight.
Fultzy. You get fouled?
I want to see if he can hit a few jumpers, but I'll check the tape after.
Wow, interesting. I didn't see that coming, him playing right away, but very interesting. Yeah, baseball's right around the corner. I'm excited just like you guys are. It's going to be fun. Mike, good luck in your fantasy baseball season.
Yes, thank you.
Hope you do well. I know you really like your team.
Oh, I'll give everyone a ton of updates. Don't worry.
Yeah, updates will be coming. But yeah, it's going to be a fun season. Hopefully soon, guys, we'll be back on. We'll just talk about, various sports. March Madness is just about coming to a close. Well, maybe we'll touch on that. We got to talk a little football too, guys. A lot of movement since we've last talked about football. A lot of movement, so we'll talk a little football, and obviously we'll keep the baseball updates coming throughout the baseball year on these podcast episodes. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at the Angry Hacks. Tweet us, whatever you got to do to keep us going. That's how we got to keep going. Also, just please download our content on iTunes and SoundCloud. Shoot us a review as well. We like to hear from you. All right, for Michael Hall, Ryan Stanley, this is Nunzi, and we're out of here. Enjoy this weekend of March Madness and some baseball.